18th, Kippy Laughlin, James Arthur, John Parker, Commissioner Waddington, Nate Leimeister, and I'm Elizabeth. And then, let me give you guys.
So we can't vote on anything today.
You can.
We can.
Yeah,
you got three.
You were the one who made the quorum.
Yep.
Thank you.
Okay.
You're very efficient.
I knew you'd make it. You put it in the universe.
There we go. There's an empty page.
All set, Jim?
Yep.
Okay. Are there any, has everybody had a chance to read the minutes?
No.
No? There you go.
These are minutes. This is just the agenda. Okay.
After May 20th, it's the next official meeting, it's not till the fall.
Wait a minute. She's a doctor?
Because I know we do touch a truck.
Doctor of,
Send stuff out.
Yeah.
not a doctor,
Yeah. Yes.
ecology,
And I'll call you.
like a PhD doctor.
Oh, just,
Oh, I
Okay.
did not know that. That adds quite a bit of class to this group.
I'm telling you, we needed some.
Reed hasn't been here in a while. I have some old business when we get to it.
Okay.
no.
What's with all this
She was
formal
watering for the
business?
greenhouse and then, I think when Tom left, he stopped.
Are there any corrections to the minutes?
Well, no, except for I didn't know Morgan was a doctor.
If there are no corrections, the minutes are approved. Okay, we'll move on to the, what,
Actually, are we being videotaped today?
Yes.
All right.
Dave? We'll move to the old business and reports from Nate. Do you have anything, Nate, today?
I don't have anything today.
Okay.
We've just been working on the young tree training is what our main focus has been on, so I think I looked at the stats, there's like 250 trees that we've been to so far this year. That's about it.
What do you mean been to? Young tree trimming?
Yes, young tree
Oh,
trimming,
okay.
yes.
You want to talk about your spring planning?
We ordered trees for our spring planting. I think I ordered 30-some trees. So we got a couple areas all throughout the city, so.
That kind of goes into the U.S. forestry tree planting. He's doing a more conservative planting this spring because in the fall we'll be planting a lot more trees.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've got a grant, correct? And with that grant, we're gonna do a big tree planting in the south side over by MacArthur Park in conjunction with that project. So
Okay.
it's gonna be probably, I think in the MacArthur Park part of it, there's hundreds of trees, and then we'll probably about 200, 250 total that will be
Wow.
planting in the fall over there, so.
That's quite a bit.
Yeah, we were
Yeah.
awarded 125,000 from the U.S. Forestry department, and we put in for specifically to cover all trees. So city will be providing the service.
That's great.
So the
250.
125 will go purely to trees.
Okay. Is anything happening with the Adam Street tree?
We just issued the letter. So,
Okay.
yeah, so we haven't, they've got 15 days, and so we're
Okay.
still in that period of waiting to see if they'll reach out to us.
Okay.
Yeah.
They don't reach out, what happens?
Good question. I will have to consult with our city engineer. We've never, ever, at least the staff, current staff hasn't been through an issue like this, so we might make a second attempt. We do have a phone number on file, see if we can make contact.
Okay. We had a brief discussion on Arbor Day. We have a conflict with the schools as far
Yes.
as spring break.
Yeah, so the city of Sandusky schools have spring break on Arbor Day and Earth Day, because they're both within that same week. Yeah, so we're gonna reach out to a couple different schools. Nate has some locations in mind where we'd like to plant some trees. Commissioner Waddington had mentioned the library too, so we're still reaching out, in the process of reaching out to set up times and dates. And there might be more than one, so
Okay.
we'll obviously make one like the ceremonial reading of the proclamation, but
Okay.
there may be more than one tree planting.
Okay.
Yeah,
Sounds good.
yes.
Okay. Any other old business?
Yes.
Jim, go ahead.
There's this, it's old business because we've talked about this before. Out on Wilson Street. We talked about it, but never came to any conclusion. There's a tree planted right next to some fences there. But there seems to be like an alley going down there. We could never decide if that was city property or what was going on. But anyway, the woman who lives just next to one of those fences got in touch with me the other day during the big wind. She's noticed a crack in one of the big limbs. She sent me some pictures. So she's concerned during the big wind, of course. So I looked at the pictures, there is some cracks, but to me, they look, for lack of a better term, superficial. Looks like just the bark might be cracked, and it's not in the crotch. So it's at 215 Wilson Street. And we never did conclusively decide that that was city-owned property or not. Because there's a fence here, and there's a fence here, and there's empty lot going between them. That was suggested by somebody that there's a big water line going through there. From the water tower at Mills Creek Golf Course to Castalia. Does that make it city property?
There could, we'd
It
have,
needs tending to,
Yeah.
is the
we'd
point I'm
have to look
getting to.
into it. It could be an unimproved utilities right of way. If there is a water line going through it, it's possible the city has an easement, but we'd have to look into it further.
Yeah, that's
I
what I
recall
told them.
talking about it years ago, so I can certainly pull up anything that I've got to see what was determined at the time, but
So Nate, if you got the time, 2015 Wilson Street, take a look at the tree.
is the tree in the front of the property or it's behind the property in that space between the fences?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
So it's like an alley. Do all the homes have access to it or no? Or is it like their backyard?
I don't know how to describe it. It goes from Wilson Street and goes right on through to the next street, and it's all empty.
Okay.
Yeah, typically if it's an unimproved utilities right-of-way, then the abutting property owners would be responsible for the maintenance of the trees. But if there is a water line going through.
Well, they
then-
are. The neighbor next to this woman on the other side of the fence does take care of it. So,
Yeah, we can definitely follow up. Do you have the contact information too, so we can reach out to you for that information if we don't have it?
it's Nicole, okay?
Okay,
And she's out in her backyard now gardening,
okay,
and during that really windy day, she started becoming concerned about it.
I see.
And we have talked about it before, but never did reach a conclusion.
Okay,
You definitely use some limbing. There's a good sized 14 caliper inch limb hanging over her fence into her yard. That's what she's mostly concerned about.
sure, yeah. Yeah, we can follow up,
Thank you. On her behalf.
yes.
Any other old business? Okay, meeting is now open for any new business.
I got a question.
Okay.
Maybe that May 20th meeting should be, I think we got to keep consistent on the regular meetings.
Okay.
I'm just throwing that out, and that could be a problem if we switch. They said something about going out to the west end, but that might be problematic even in May. To get everybody here, to reach out.
I mean, as far as the next meeting?
Yeah, that'll be that's
May
May 20th. That's
Yeah.
our next meeting, but the other ones we could do out there, But I'm thinking, maybe some of these folks are not keeping up or putting like a day mind or, a date down when we have these meetings.
So you want to make sure it's here at the commission chambers, is that?
No, well, maybe like that meeting and see if we can get everybody here for a change.
Sure.
I think we switch up, because when I looked at this meeting online, that was the bottom, this date or this May 20th. Somebody might have penciled it in or put it on their phone if they
Sure.
could make it today, or do we reach out and contact them again? I don't know what the answer is.
Well, everybody's been responsive. The only person that I don't hear from is Bree. So when everybody else, when they don't come, tends to send me an email ahead of time.
I wasn't sure.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. But I see what you're saying, that because they already think they're coming to commission chambers to keep it here for May, and that's fine.
Any other discussion? Okay. Are there any announcements? Anything else we need to?
Just pay attention to your emails, because in the next couple weeks, we'll get Arbor Day.
Arbor Day
Yeah.
ironed out.
Yep.
And that's gonna be at the complex, right?
Arbor Day?
No, I mean, are we gonna meet prior to that or no?
No, that's the thing. We won't have any further meetings,
Oh,
because it's
okay,
March
okay,
now, and Arbor
okay,
Day
I'm
is
sorry, then
mid-April.
maybe,
And that's why we didn't do an April meeting, because we're hoping that you all can
okay.
make room in your calendars to be at
Just
the
let
tree
us know where
plantings.
it's- Okay.
Yep,
Okay.
So there
Yeah.
may be an April meeting? or-
no.
No.
There will not be.
Just May.
Yep,
Got it. Okay.
yep. We'll do the planning for Arbor Day, and hopefully
Okay.
you'll be able to speak.
Hopefully, we'll be in town or whatever,
Yes.
right?
Yeah, does anybody have any dates that don't work in
That's a tough-
April, like you're going to be traveling? No,
Me, not so far, no.
okay, okay,
No.
okay.
Okay. May I please have a motion to adjourn?
I motion it.
I seconded.
Motion carried.
I must be here.
Okay, it's on the calendars. Yeah.
So the date of Arbor Day isn't changing as
No,
far
we'll
as
do
work
it,
is.
we'll do it here.
Correct.
And if
Well,
we change it,
but
I'll
where
let you
it
Well, I
know.
was thinking, because
How many?
The schools are on spring break during that week. So